Democratic House Speaker Michael Madigan agreed Thursday to allow a vote on Gov. Rauner's controversial plan to reinstate the death penalty and expand the waiting period to purchase firearms, creating a political minefield Democrats contend could hurt re-election-seeking Republicans more than themselves. Madigan said the issues the Republican governor raised deserve a full hearing and consideration before the House. We look forward to hearing from stakeholders and continuing our effort to keep our children, our schools and our communities safe from senseless gun violence, Madigan said in a statement. Rauner's rewrite would create a 72-hour cooling-off period to buy any firearm and reinstate capital punishment for slaying a law enforcement officer or in cases where 2 or more people are killed. A new bill containing the governor's plan will be discussed by the House Judiciary Committee on Monday, and Democrats said Madigan intends for it to be eventually called for a full House vote. The move provides some political insulation for Madigan, the chief political nemesis of the re-election-seeking governor. It prevents the governor from attacking the veteran House Speaker for defending the lives of cop killers by blocking a vote on Rauner's crime-fighting initiative. It's doubtful the Rauner plan would pass the House, but Madigan's move carries several political risks for individual lawmakers in both parties. It also creates significant complications for rank-and-file Republicans. Lawmakers on both sides who vote against the measure could find themselves targeted by political opponents as being soft on crime and weaken their support of law enforcement by refusing to lift the state's 7-year ban on capital punishment. That could particularly impact suburban Democratic lawmakers in a region where the party has made increasing inroads on traditionally Republican territory. Still, several lawmakers who served in 2011 when the state abolished the death penalty, following a tarnished history of wrongful convictions, are already on record with their vote. The bill is more complex for Republicans. While reinstating the death penalty has its appeal to Republican voters, Rauner's plan also would create a 72-hour waiting period for all guns, not just military-style firearms contained in the original bill. An expansion of the waiting period is opposed by the politically powerful National Rifle Association and is at odds with many voters in rural Illinois legislative districts represented by Republicans who champion their support for gun rights. House Republican leader Jim Durkin's office declined comment Thursday when asked about Madigan's move. Earlier this week, Durkin issued a statement promoted by Rauner's office in which he said, "As a former prosecutor, I believe the governor's recommended changes strike the right balance to reduce senseless gun violence in Chicago and throughout the state. Political sensitivity over enacting a waiting period for all firearm purchases was evident earlier Thursday, when Rauner addressed his plan on WJPF-AM in Heron, a station billed as the voice of Southern Illinois. Rauner spent much of the radio interview touting the various provisions of his plan. But he did not mention expanding the waiting period. He also criticized a measure written with Republican input that would create a state certification system for stores that sell guns. The measure, which passed the Senate earlier this week, was aimed at overcoming Rauner's objections to a bill he vetoed in March. It just creates hassles for businesses and honest business owners. It's just red tape and filing and fees and regulation. And it really doesn't improve public safety and it doesn't really stop criminals," Rauner said. "This is political grandstanding and grabbing for headlines rather than trying to get real improvements for the people of Illinois. That happens far too often with Madigan's Democrats in the General Assembly," he said. Rap30@AOL.com Garcia at ChicagoTribune.com relayed Rauner proposes reinstating death penalty in Illinois, which outlawed it earlier this decade, how the death penalty was abolished in Illinois.